Hello and welcome to another wonderful new episode of Overlord Explained. I'm Shergog and today we will address the question of why Ainz Ooal Gown, despite his immense resources such as gold, loyal subjects, incredibly magical abilities and powerful items, has not been able to find any of his friends again. But before we dive into all of this, let me quickly say thanks to my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as to say thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. Now with that said, let's get to the main topic. First of all, it must be mentioned that Ainz Ooal Gown almost brought one of its guild members into the new world, right at the start of the anime. Hero, the slime that was briefly seen at the beginning of the first season of Overlord. He was actually one of Ainz Ooal Gown's friends, and Ainz had sent a round mail before to inform everyone that they could come back to the guild on the last day of Yggdrasil Online in order for a final meeting. However, many people did not respond to the mail, and out of the other 40 guild members, only Hero actually appeared. Unfortunately, he was in a terrible state. He was completely overwhelmed and buried by work, heavily medicated to cope with everything, and had gained a lot of weight due to the stress. He was so exhausted and sleep deprived that he could only speak briefly with Ainz before going to sleep. Unknowingly, this was the perfect opportunity for him to escape his miserable everyday life. If he had come to the new world with Ainz by accident, his emotions and feelings, which were not suppressed, would have led to a lot of fun with Ainz, and for him to live a very happy and fulfilled life. Moreover, the Great Tomb would not have been set out to conquer the world, and Ainz would not have lost his humanity in the same way he has in the canon story timeline, simply because Hero would have had sympathy for others, whereas Ainz would have been emotionally detached due to his new body, so he would be more or less led by Hero, and therefore the story would be quite wholesome indeed. However, Hero fell asleep too early and remained therefore in the old world, while Ainz was transported to the new one. But still, with Ainz Ooal Gown's attachment to his friends, it was relatively late when a search party was finally formed. Though the reason for this is that Ainz Ooal Gown had changed his name from Momongra to Ainz Ooal Gown in order to carry the name of the guild out in the world, as to attract his friends, and also because Ainz Ooal Gown was afraid that just nothing would be found. And the purpose of the search party was also not necessarily to search for lost supreme beings, but rather than to seek and destroy. But even this party, despite being made up of the most powerful beings in the entirety of the Great Tomb, even Rubedo is a part of it, did not find a single player of Ainz Ooal Gown. And the reason for all of this is quite simple. Only players who were still logged into Yggdrasil Online at the very end when the server were shut down, and who were also near a world-class item, were actually transported to the new world. So for example, they had to be near the Throne of Kings, or the Red Orb of Ainz Ooal Gown, and if any other members of Ainz Ooal Gown had logged in just before the server shut down, they would have spawned at the round table, just like Hero did, and then he would have been transported to the new world. And therefore it is likely that no one except Ainz, at least from his own guild, was transported to the new world. And therefore no other players from Ainz Ooal Gown can be found, simply because no one is even there to be found in the first place. Of course, it should also be mentioned that there's a possibility that some guild members gathered elsewhere and happened to be in the vicinity of another world-class item when the server shutdown occurred. For example, we know that Yamaiko's sister played an elf character, so it is not unlikely that her sister, who was not a member of Ainz Ooal Gown, in contrast to Yamaiko, because she was not a heteromorph but a humanoid, again an elf to be precise, was also near a world-class item, when the server shutdown happened. And we also know that one of the 6 players from Slain was indeed an elf as well, so it could be Yamaiko's sister who made it into the new world. This would also be quite beneficial for Zeshi, if she could mention that not only her father had elven blood, but also one of the 6 players from Slain was indeed an elf. Ainz, who is known to be very cautious, would then want to ensure that he did not mistreat one of Yamaiko's sister's descendants by mere accident. But it also must be said that even if the guild members of Ainz Ooal Gown were somewhere near a world-class item at the time of the server shutdown, which is extremely unlikely because they likely were not logged in, they would probably not have arrived at the new world at the same time. In the bonus volume, we know that Ainz Ooal Gown, who stepped just outside of Nezuric's door to light a firework, was sent to the new world 200 years earlier, while the rest of the guild arrived 200 years later. So even if, for example, Ulbert Ainz Ooal would have arrived with a world-class item in hand and stood 2 meters away from Nezuric's ground, just before the shutdown, he would have been sent to the new world as well. But it is quite possible that he then has already arrived, or will arrive in 100 years or so, as players only arrive in these 100-year-long intervals for unknown reasons. So, in essence, Ainz Ooal Gown is truly alone, because all are gone. And with that said, this little explanation video comes to an end. I hope you liked it. Please share your thoughts on the topic and, as always, like, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I also say my special thanks to Other Daddy Other, Bad Guy Yi, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Dragonlord Plaxidus Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feral Shivan, Guy with That Hat, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Free Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Lothrazer, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, Oh Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantum, Paz Sonich, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Cune Carcos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rock Ed Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenokai, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.